36-year-old Lacy Fletcher was found melted into this maggot-filled couch on January 3rd of 2022 in her parents' home. She lived on this couch for 12 years, and her parents have now pled no contest to a manslaughter charge. Just a trigger warning, there is going to be some graphic content in this story. So this is Lacy Fletcher. Lacy Fletcher was 36 years old when she passed away in 2022 on her parents' couch. She basically was stuck and melted away into a crater in her couch that was covered with feces, urine, and maggots. These are Lacy's parents, Sheila and Clay Fletcher. They're both 65 years old. According to her parents, Lacy was diagnosed with a few conditions. They said that she had autism. They said that she had severe social anxiety. And they also claimed that she had a condition called locked-in syndrome, where you can't move any of your voluntary muscles except your eyes. This is the couch that Lacy Fletcher lived on for 12 years of her life. Lacy had a rough childhood. She ended up with severe social anxiety. She ended up being homeschooled from grade 9 on. And at the age of 15, she had seen a psychiatrist who agreed that she had severe social anxiety. Her parents claim that Lacy wouldn't leave the home and then eventually wouldn't get off this couch. Lacy had basically worn a human-sized crater into the couch from being on it in one position for the last 12 years. This is a picture of Lacy on the couch. It is blurred out just because it is disturbing, but she basically was laying on her side, had her feet tucked up underneath of her, and this is what the couch ended up looking like. The medical examiner said they basically had to pry and cut Lacy from the couch. The fibers of the couch were embedded in her bones. She was covered in urine, feces, and maggots. They said that the feces was actually rubbed into her face, her chest, and her abdomen. Lacy was discovered deceased on this couch. She was absolutely covered in sores and ulcers. The flesh on her backside was basically worn away. She also had large yellow areas where there was no skin left, and other areas were just blackened. Now, initially, Lacy's parents claimed that they had brought in a portable toilet for her to use in the living room, but on a visit to her doctor, Lacy's doctor, in 2010, her mother and father claimed that her social anxiety was so bad she would no longer get off the couch, and so she was using the washroom on a towel on the floor. The doctor at this point told them that Lacy needed to be hospitalized. He gave them paperwork and explained how they could have her committed to an institution to get help. However, they did not do that. And it does soon appear that she did not get off the couch any longer to use the washroom on the towel, and she was actually just using the washroom on the couch. Reports claim that Lacy had been using the washroom on this couch for so long that even the floor underneath the couch was starting to buckle. The autopsy revealed that Lacy was absolutely covered in pressure ulcers. It said that she was having chronic bone infections due to the fact that her wounds were open right to the bone, and she was laying in her own feces and urine and covered in maggots. They said that there were actually maggots and fibers of the couch embedded in her bone. The cause of death was listed as sepsis due to a number of factors. The fact she was immobile, she had not moved for years, severe malnutrition, she had basically stopped eating towards the end of her life. It also claimed that the bone infections was another reason, and basically just severe chronic neglect. Lacy's parents were originally charged with second-degree murder, but that has been dropped to manslaughter, and they've agreed to plead no contest. Prosecutors say they are going for the maximum amount of time, which is 40 years, and they're going to be back in court for sentencing on March 20th. Lacy's parents, like I said, were just in court last week, and they were actually surrounded by some supporters. Members of their church, the First Baptist Church in their hometown of Louisiana, are all standing by them and feel that this is just a situation where Lacy was basically loved to death. The defense is trying to say that they were great parents, that they absolutely loved Lacy, but they ended up getting something that the defense is coining as learned helplessness. They're saying when someone has a special needs child, that they just get overwhelmed and they don't know what to do any longer. Lacy's father said that basically she had severe phobias. Initially, she was afraid to leave the home, then it was afraid to leave the living room, and then eventually afraid to leave the couch. Lacy's mother said the last few days of her life, she started to eat less and less, and that her final meal was half a sandwich and some Cheetos. I will definitely be updating once Lacy's parents are sentenced on March 20th, so make sure you hit follow if you're interested.